Hello friends, this is Rishayan. Yes, here I am in the forest of the state of Pennsylvania, and I want to make this video in English because many people are asking me to please make videos in English. First, I want to start out by saying that I found out that because of the world is changing, and there's this phenomenon known as AI, which I don't like and I'm 100% against, but there's benefits to it. And even though I'm against it, you know, we might as well take advantage of the benefits. Meanwhile, we can't do anything about it. Whether we're for it or against it, it's going to happen. It's happening. And one of the benefits for my channel is there's now the way that you can it automatically translates my videos from Spanish to English. All right, and somebody told me about that. I didn't even know. You know, I don't know. YouTube doesn't tell you that. You know, they don't tell you clearly that stuff. You know, and I got too many other things I'm doing. I can't study all their newsletters and the reports. They probably said it in one of their reports, but I don't have time to look for all that. So I didn't know. So somebody told me that. So I checked it out on somebody else's cellular to see if it was true, and I put up a video of mine that's in Spanish. And yeah, there's a way you can put it in English and it translates to English, you know, and also I think from English to Spanish also, I believe. So actually you can watch, those of you who re-watch the videos of mine that are in Spanish, you can now hear it in English. However, it's not my voice, it's this fake AI voice, of course. And it doesn't translate exactly correct, you know, because I speak, you know, a different language. I mean, I speak common Costa Chican Spanish, you know, colorful Spanish. And it doesn't always translate that right. So you may not always get the correct gist of what it's saying, but it will give you a general idea of what I'm saying when you translate that. But anyways, so I'm doing this in English now. You know, it also gave me the idea too. I guess I'm going to have to put up some of my older videos that are really good in Spanish, republish them. Of course, none of them are monetized. I unfortunately cannot monetize them, so it's all just a gift to all of you, just a gift. I don't earn nothing, you know. But while I'm at my mom's house, I can do that. Now, when I'm traveling, I can't. But while I'm at my mom's house, I can do that. And so I might put up some of the old ones that now, even though you may not have watched them before because they were in Spanish, now you can switch and watch them in English. How amazing, right? That's my tent here I'm near Philadelphia, believe it or not. But I found this little, you can see all this horrid traffic. I mean, I'm oh my God, I hate cars. I hate them, you know, and motorcycles, and oh my, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But they can't see me. And I found this little tiny patch of beautiful forest before they tear it down, because they're tearing down every last bit of forest all across the U.S. and not just across the U.S., all across Mexico. Mexico is becoming horribly deforested. They see a tree, they chop it down. So, you know, but anyway, so before I die, at least I'm enjoying a little bit of nature, and I'm enjoying the ticks and the poison ivy, because there's poison ivy right there. That's poison ivy, and I've killed about 15 ticks just in the last 2 days, you know. So they haven't really been biting me, but they're crawling around, and I kill them as soon as I see them. And the ants these ants in Pennsylvania do not bite you, okay? The ants in Texas and in Mexico, look at these ants on my tent. You see that? I don't know what the hell they're doing, going up and down my tent. I don't know. They're taking a shortcut. They've made my tent like a freeway. Instead of going through the dirt, you know, they just go up and then down the other side of the tent. But they don't seem to be, there's nothing to eat on my tent. In fact, all the rain that we've had in the last several days, I mean, it's rained a hell of a lot here. You know, it's washed everything away. So I don't know what they're doing. These ants do not, so far I haven't seen that they bite. There are ants that will make big holes in the tent. One place I was at in Mexico, oh man, that pissed me off. I was hoboing in Mexico, in what state was that? I think it was in the state of San Luis Potosí. I think it was near Cerrito, San Luis Potosí. several years ago, and I was walking a long distance, walking, and off to the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. I don't think there was a village within 10 miles of where I was at. And but so I found a little bit of bush. It's sort of like bush, right? Not really forest, sort of semi-forest, but like more like bush, semi-arid bush that I found to camp in. And during the night, I was tired though. You know, when I walk a lot, I sleep good because I'm tired. You know, and I was younger at that time, so I was able to walk many miles. Today I can't do that. My body just will not allow me to walk like I used to walk. It just won't, you know. But at that time I could walk, you know, 15, 20, 25, 30 kilometers even in a day, carrying, you know, a load of my junk. And anyway, so I was tired. I found this place, set up my tent, everything nice and wonderful. During the night, I heard this noise, like a biting noise. But I was too tired to really investigate. I was half awake. I could hear this noise on the tent. What the hell is this? But I was just too tired. Until the mosquitoes started biting me. And I said, what the hell? I'm inside a tent. How did these mosquitoes get in the tent? Because there's mosquitoes all over Mexico, you know. And I started getting bit by these damn mosquitoes. So I forcibly got up, turned on my little light bulb, and there's a big effing hole, you know, is in my tent that the ants had eaten through the tent. These are some kind of ant that eats fabric, I guess. And they had made big holes in the tent. I don't remember if it was in the mosquito netting or if it was in the other part of the tent. I don't remember, but they had eaten right in through my tent. They made a big hole, and now the mosquitoes are just coming in. I thought, oh my God, it's a camper's, a hobo's nightmare. Believe me, you know. Oh my God, I don't remember what I did other than not being very, very upset. But I was in Mexico, so I couldn't get the kind of tent. You know, they do now, you know, years ago, it was very hard to find tents in Mexico. Before they had Horrera, which is the Mexican equivalent of Walmart, and other big supermarkets, you really couldn't find, they didn't have sporting goods, no Academy, no REI, you know, no Cabela's, none of these great sporting goods stores. And they still don't really have those type of stores today in Mexico. But they do have big supermarkets like Soriana, Horrera, Chedraui, but as those are the principal ones. And they do now carry tents and sleeping bags and some camping stuff, all Chinese junk, low quality, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? But years ago they didn't have that, so it's very hard to find, and that's only in larger cities. In rural areas, forget it, you know. So I don't know what I did. I don't remember what I did after that because I was still in the middle of my journey. I guess I just had to tape it up. I somehow repaired it. I don't remember how, but it can happen. Ants can be a problem, but anyways. So so as I had said in a previous video that I just made, informing my faithful followers that have been following me for years, and this YouTube channel has existed since 2008. How many years is that? I don't know. I'm too tired to figure it out, but you know, many years. And there's people that have followed me since the beginning, and the most of the videos have been in Spanish, but those that know my history know that I've been always living mostly since 1993 in the Costa Chica of Guerrero. Principally, I found this town that's just a place you could never find in the U.S. I mean, it'd be impossible. And that's even very difficult today to find in Mexico or any other country, I think, because of the great desconfianza, they say in Spanish. How can you say it in English? That people are not so much unfriendly, but they're not open to foreigners, not open to strangers that easily. You know, in the U.S. it's impossible, but it's still possible in Mexico. It's just not so easy. But back in 1993, I walked into this village, my goal was only to, or my intent was only to just spend the night along this beautiful river. I camped out on the river, and the next day I was going to continue on. At that time I was headed towards Puerto Escondido, Oaxaca, to work. I had to work. That was before I got Social Security. I had no YouTube income. There was no YouTube at that time. There was no cell phones at that time. I was just a hobo unfortunately, without documenting my adventures, which were many. And I only today have documented them with my memory, what I can remember. A lot of things I forgot. But anyway, so I ended up in this town. I had to rest. I was coming from Nogales. I had been living on the Arizona Sonora border in Nogales. And no, I'm sorry. Let me think. No. When I started to live there, I was living in San Luis Obispo, California. Now I remember. I was living in San Luis Obispo, California, in a homeless shelter, where I had met a Mexican immigrant from Oaxaca, from the area of Puerto Escondido. I had never been there before. I didn't know it. And I had never been in the south of Mexico at that time. I only knew northern Mexico. And he told me about how beautiful it is there, and that it was a tourist town, and that I could probably get work there. And we became friends, and sort of stayed together. But it came to the time that I wanted to continue moving on, advancing my life, and I wanted to go south. I wanted to go back to Mexico. And after what he told me about Puerto Escondido, well, that interested me. I wanted to go there. But he wanted to go north. He had no intention of returning to Mexico. He had made it into the United States, and he had made it that far into the U.S., up to San Luis Obispo. He wanted to go further north. He wanted to go up to Washington or Oregon or Alaska. I don't know where he wanted to go. But he didn't want to go, did not want to go back to Mexico, because I said, let's go together. It'd be a lot more fun. But he didn't want to go. So I wanted to go south. He wanted to go north, So that's, our friendship terminated then. And I did. I had saved up some money. I had been working. These Oriental people had given me a job in what kind of place was that? Some kind of restaurant. Was it a chicken restaurant or something like that? Anyways, I had been working for them in this place and staying at the homeless shelter, and I had saving money because I wasn't paying rent, and I was able to save up a little bit of money from working in the chicken place. And with that money, I paid my fare to the border, and then from Tijuana to south. Let me think. Yeah, from Tijuana all the way to Acapulco. All the way to Acapulco. That was like several days on the bus. And but this was back when the buses were still cheap. Today everything is expensive, even the bus in Mexico. I can remember it was only $25, $25 US dollars in Mexican equipment, in the peso equivalent. I don't know if it was at that time, or I don't remember what year, but years ago, $25 to take the bus from Matamoros to Guerrero. That's how much it cost me. Today it's like let's see, it's more like 200. It's going to cost you about 1,500, another 2,500. Yeah, it's about 150 to 200 bucks. It's gone from $25 to 150 to $200 to cross Mexico on the bus. It's just really gotten to be terrible. But anyways, so by the time I got to Acapulco, I was tired. Obviously, I wanted to camp. I had my camping stuff. I wanted to camp somewhere. I seen there was a lot of rivers, right? I didn't have Google Maps, and I'm like, 'cause I didn't have cellular, and I don't even think I had a map. I don't even think I had a map of that part of Mexico. So I was just, going by instinct and what I could gather from the people. I didn't know much about that area, but I knew that I was headed towards Puerto Escondido because this young man had told me about it, and I knew that maybe because of I was semi-bilingual at that time, and being bilingual, I thought, well, I can maybe get a job in tourism and something, according to him, that would be possible. And I know it is possible. It was possible, and probably still is possible. And that was my goal, to work, to get to Puerto Escondido to work. And But I only made it as far as Acapulco. I didn't have money for hotels or anything like that. And I just head for the transport. And so I asked a mistake, but I asked the boletera, they call it, the ticket seller, female ticket seller, you know, if she could just send me on a second class bus, sell me a ticket just to the next, because it was like in the afternoon, right? And just to the next town where there's a river. And that sell me a ticket to there so I could get off and I'd camp along the river, because rivers in Mexico are all public, you know, and the riverbank is public, so you can legally camp anywhere. It's dangerous, but you can do it. And that was my goal. Take my word for it. Never ask a woman in Mexico. I know it sounds, oh, he's sexist. It's true. I don't care what you call it. It's true. They don't know geography. They just don't know. Never ask them anything about geography. Don't ask them what street to take. Don't ask them anything, because too many times they will answer you, but they will never send you in the right way. Not that they're being rude or anything. They just don't know, but they won't tell you they don't know. And don't bother asking the ticket agent whatever their gender is, because they don't know. You know, she's probably never in her life left Acapulco. She didn't know, and she just sent me to a town called Coajinicuilapa, which at that time I couldn't even pronounce it. This was like 4 hours down the road. 4 hours down the road, when I found out later that I could see from the windows of the bus that there was many a river that we crossed over. There were places only a half hour away, an hour away, that I could have been sent to and gotten off and camped. And you know, we kept passing this place, and I didn't know where the hell I was going. So I'd ask the bus driver. I said, "Where's this?" I couldn't even pronounce the town. This I couldn't pronounce it. Coajinicuilapa. And he looked at the ticket and he said, "Oh, falta, you know, falta 2 horas más, you know." It's still like 2 hours more down the road of the holy hell. I get to that town, and guess what? There's no river. No river. You know, I mean, not in that town. I asked the people, "Where's the river? I want to walk to the river." It's getting, you know, it's like 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was running out of time. And I said, "Where's the river?" No river. You have to get on another minivan and go to this other town, and that's where a river is. Oh, okay. Finally end up in the river, the town with the river, and it was a little rough. I remember I didn't know anybody in this town. Oh my God, I had pants on and shirt and my backpack, and I was sweating like crazy. It's very hot. This was in the month of November. Very humid, very hot. And I'm walking through the village looking for the path down to the river, and there's bars in this little tiny village, and people are shouting, and you know, oh my God. And so oh well, here I am finally to the river, and God, it was a beautiful river. I fell in love with that river from the first sight. I mean, this river is a nice, wide, shallow, sandy river with hardly no mud and hardly no rocks. No mud, no rocks, basically, wide and shallow. A beautiful and perfect place to camp. And so I got there, and there was I think there was one guy I started talking to that was in like a field adjoining the river. I talked to him a little bit, and I asked him if it was okay to camp. He said, "Sure, no problem." I later, 2 boys with goats, 2 goat boys. One of those boys, one of the boys is now in the United States. The other boy became my godson. Yeah, I never knew it. They had no idea at the time. He's now a proud soldier in the Mexican Armed Forces. But at the time, he was like 11 years old or something. And these 2 boys were very friendly, and I asked if it was okay to camp there. I asked them, and they said, "Sure, go ahead." And that was that. So I had permission of the kids, you know, to camp along the river. That was good enough. And found a nice place, but I didn't put up my tent until dark because, you know, I didn't know what the security situation might be in that village. And I didn't know anybody there. But everything was fine. As soon as it got dark, I set up my tent, slept fine. I mean, I slept because I was tired, and woke up. Since my tent was in the sand along the river, it wasn't under trees or anything. It was full of sereno, they call in Spanish, or what do you call in English, the dew, what do you call it, dew? Yeah, something like that. That, you know, that forms on your tent. If you're under a tree, you don't have that problem, you know. See, I can show you. You know, this tent here is under these trees. So, you know, if it's a clear night tonight, I will not have dew on the tent because it's under the trees. Now, if I'd put it out in the open, well, there's no place around here really that's open. But if I put it someplace out in the open, then I'll have dew on the tent. That's something you learn from experience. But anyways, I wasn't under any tree, I was just out in the thing, and so it was full of dew, so I had to wait. But the sun came up real quick and it got hot real quick, and so it was only a matter of waiting a little while until the dew dried off from the tent. And I'm running out of time. It's getting to be pretty long, so I'm just going to end this here now. But basically, what then happened is that the next day, while I was waiting, some people early, they come down to the river for various reasons, and I began to talk to the people, and I made friends, and I never left the town. And now it's like like 30 some odd years later, I have a house in that town, and that's where I've lived most of my life in the last 30 years. I became a member of that village. But in another video in English, I'll tell you more about that story. I've already told that story over and over in Spanish, but I don't think I ever completely told the story in English. So I promise you I will do that in another video that I'll make sometime this week. I'll make another video in English, I promise you. Remind me if I don't. Remind me. Send me a comment and say, hey, you said you're going to make another video about talking about my experiences discovering this little village where I built my house. Have a nice day from the forest of Pennsylvania. I'm Rishayan.